Peace, everyone. Hi, this is Angela Jordan Perry, the owner, director, and administrator of this South Carolina Option 3 Accountability Association. So I received a question, and each time I receive different questions, people want to know things. It is more than likely that if one person wants to know and understand, then many people probably have the same question. So as you know, each time I come live here on UCHU, the Facebook page and YouTube channel, I answer a question. So today's question is, at what age can I begin homeschooling my child? And must I join your association as soon as I begin homeschooling? So that's a great question, and I'm going to have to break that down into pieces because there's a lot of different moving parts in that question, and so I'm going to try and answer as thoroughly as I can. But if you do have questions after I explain this, pop those questions down in the comment section below, and I will clarify as needed, okay? But before I answer the question, let me let you know who I am. As I mentioned, I'm Angela Jordan Perry. I am the owner, administrator, and director of this Option 3 Accountability Association here in the state of South Carolina. In addition, I am also a life partner, wife to my husband now of 27 years come July 2019. We have 8 children together, 4 we birthed and 4 we adopted. 3 of our children have graduated out of homeschool and are adults, and I am still homeschooling 5. I also have a few platforms. One is Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling with Angela Jordan Perry. I'm on Facebook and YouTube channel for that. And then also Educating Our Own and a podcast, Girlfriends Chat. Those 3 entities are specifically focused and geared to reaching the African diasporic homeschool community, where I bring encouragement, insights, wisdom, how-tos, and just encourage you to consider educating your own children. So please check out those platforms. The podcast is on all podcasts venues, so you can find Girlfriends Chat with Angela Jordan Perry there. Okay, so that's just a little bit about me. Now, to answer this question that you have, at what age can you start homeschooling your child in the state of South Carolina? Well, you can start homeschooling your child at any age you want. You can start kindergarten at 3 years old. You can start kindergarten or preschool at 4 years old. It's really up to you. It's really up to what you feel your student, your child can academically handle. All right. So here's another part to that. Some parents have children who maybe they turn 5 after the actual age in which they can go to public school. So perhaps you have a child that will not turn 5 until September. All right. So public school in South Carolina has already begun, so they cannot start school. They would have to wait all the way until they're 6. And you say, I'm not going to wait. I want to go ahead and start homeschooling my child now. And so you can do that. You can start them homeschooling them at home, choose your kindergarten curriculum, and go from there. Now, are you required to join a homeschool association or Option 3 association if you start schooling your child before their required age to go to public school? The answer is no. You're not required to join an association if you choose to homeschool your child before the age in which they would normally go to public school. Okay. Now, with that also said, I have many families who fall into that category. Their child does not start school until they would actually be 6 or almost 6, but they have decided to start them either at 4 years old, 5 years old homeschooling, and they have decided to go ahead and join with me in my association so that they can have that legal assistance. They can have that legal fact that they are indeed legally homeschooling with an association. And if they need help and hands to walk them along their journey, then they have me available. All right. I'm going to also answer the question, what if you do start your child's schooling at 4 years old, 3, 4, or 5 years old, which would be before the age they would go to public school, and they complete kindergarten, 1st grade, and almost 2nd grade in 1 school year? What do? That's absolutely fine. When you either choose to actually officially join an association, just let them know they are 5 years old, 2nd grade, and that's it. All right. However, if they just remember, keep this in mind, if you decide to ever put them in public school and they are ahead of their grade level to their age, say they're 7, let's say 5 years old, and they are in the 2nd grade, and they're going to public school 6 years old, going on to 3rd grade, okay? Just know that the public school has the power and the ability to either put that child back into the grade level according to their age, or they can choose to test that child to see if they're indeed at that grade level according to their young age, okay? When you step into the public school sphere, they have the power to decide how they're going to handle your child and their grade level. But as long as you homeschool, you can keep trekking. But just keep in mind, whether you choose to homeschool early, early in their age level, if they're 3 years old or 4 years old or 5 years old and not required to start school yet, just keep in mind, you still want to honor option 3 laws as much as you can, because if it ever comes to question, hey, they finished kindergarten and 1st grade in 3 months and you have no records to prove that, hey, we actually had a full school year and I schooled them in this amount of time. So keep your attendance, keep your journal of what you do day to day. You don't have to school 5 days a week. You could just school 3 days a week. But just know that once you reach your 180 days, whenever that is a complete school year according to option 3 law. And then you can start right after you reach 180 days. On that 181st day, you just go ahead and start to make that your day 1 for your next school year. So again, you have the freedom to encourage your child along into other grade levels if they are able to handle that academically and move along more swiftly. Kindergarten to 1st grade in 1 year, maybe 2nd to 3rd grade in another year, you can do that. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Keep your records. Let's see. Question. Hello. How do I know the requirements for each grade level, and how do I determine their grades for subject completed? Oh, very good question, Maureen. All right. So under option 3 law, we are not required to follow what public school has as a requirement of what courses or requirements per grade level. We don't have to follow that. If you want to know, you can go to the Department of Education for South Carolina, go to their website, and they have it broken down of what they require their kindergartens to know, what they require their 1st graders to know, 2nd grade, 3rd graders. You can certainly follow that, but that is not a requirement in homeschooling under option 3, okay? Why? Because our children, we school them according to their academic level and strengths. So perhaps in math, they may be really strong, and they're a kindergarten or 1st grader. They're really strong, and so maybe now math, they're in a 3rd grade book. But in spelling, they're still in a kindergarten book. And maybe science, you just, have kept that. Science is one of those that can go in any grade. What you teach in the 1st grade can be taught in the 3rd grade, just depending on what curriculum you use. So following the requirements of what they have to do per grade, that's up to you. You don't have to do that. To answer your other question, how do I determine their grades for subjects completed? You're the home educator, so you get to decide how you're going to grade them. Me personally, I do not give grades in their elementary school years. Once they reach high school level courses, then I start doing grades. Now, my kids are getting old enough that they do like to see a grade on their spelling tests, so I do a little grade on their spelling tests, and I basically just say, okay, if they have 30 things they have on a spelling test and they have 28 correct, I take 28 divided by 30, and that would give you a numerical grade. Okay, that's just the gist of it. Or if you're just going to give them an O for outstanding, a G for good, S for satisfactory, or N for needs improvement, if you're going to do those types of grade, then that's really up to your discretion what you feel they have done. But the option 3 law does not require that we give a grade for students' work. The reason why I don't give grades is because, unlike the spelling tests, that's the only thing where if they get it incorrect, then I would just make them rewrite it again like 5 times or 10 times until they remember how to spell it. But everything else, I'm going to go over it again and again until they get it all correct and they understand everything. So there's no room for failure. So in essence, my kids would always make an O if I were to give them a grade, a letter grade, or they would always make 100% if I were to give them a number grade, because I'm always going to make sure they understand it all and get it all correct. Multiplication problem, they didn't get it correct, no worries. We're going to go over that again and you're going to get it correct. So you have the freedom to give grades or not is really up to you. I will not ask my families, my members, to necessarily worry about grades until high school transcripts. With that said, I do provide report cards. If parents are interested in me completing a report card, then they would just submit the grades and the courses to me and I complete that. All right, does that make sense? Okay, good. Maureen said yes, thank you. All right, very good. Well, if you have more questions, be sure to answer them down below and I will clarify anything that you need to know. If you would like for me to feature a specific question that you have, let me know that too. Just send me a message. My email address is UCHU3rdoption@gmail.com. Just spell out third, or you can just message me here on Facebook or on YouTube. I will get back to it and answer your questions. So every day I get questions on YouTube and everywhere, Facebook. And my personal email address, I have tons and tons of homeschool questions. So just let me know, okay? All right, very good. Well, thank you for joining with me on today, and I should have another live coming out on later on this week. I try and get out 2 videos a week, so look for them, and I would love to hear from you. All right, take care, all the best, peace. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, so whenever I post a new live premiere video, you would get notification for that. It is United Community of Homeschoolers Unlimited. Go over and subscribe. If you're seeing this on Facebook, somewhere or someone shared it, be sure to come to the Facebook page of United Community of Homeschoolers Unlimited and like the page so that you can get notification whenever I post or go live. Go to my website at UCHunlimited.com. Be sure to click the follow button. Every time I do a blog post, you would get notification and you would know all the homeschool information that I do share there or encouragement that I give there, okay? All right, take care. This has been Angela Jordan Perry of UCHU, and my purpose-driven life is to make a positive impact on thousands of homeschoolers worldwide. I start that right here serving my homeschool families in South Carolina and then throughout the world. All right, take care. Peace.